Now that we've installed the Yoast SEO plugin, it's time to take a look at the features that comes with this plugin. So from the general dashboard, I'm going to go ahead and click on features. And by default, you can see over here that we have every single feature turned on by the plugin. However, you might not need to have all these features turned on. So let's take a look at them one by one. First of all, we have the SEO analysis. Now, this is where the plugin will analyze whether or not your article has been optimized for search engines. This is probably the single most important feature this plugin offers, and you absolutely must make sure this is turned on at all times. Second is the readability analysis. And guess what? I am going to turn this off. Now, what does this exactly do? What this does is the plugin will analyze the way you have written your article. It will check your grammar, your sentence structure, things like that, and then will provide you with tips on how to better improve the way you write. Now, on the surface, this sounds like a really awesome feature, right? You're getting to learn how to become a better writer. However, the problem is that you might become way too mechanical in the way you write. Your natural style of writing will disappear because now you're thinking, okay, I have to pass this analysis. I have to pass the readability analysis. I have to make sure my sentences are short. I have to make sure I'm writing in the active voice and not the passive voice, things like that. So your natural style of writing could disappear as a result. And I want to show you an example. This is a real article I have written on my blog, and it was basically an article about the best web hosting company. It was pretty extensive. Over here, you can see I have the readability analysis on green, which is good, and also the SEO analysis on green as well, which is awesome. However, take a look at the requirements to pass the analysis for the readability test. By the way, this was just a coincidence that I happen to have passed the readability analysis because I never write to pass the readability analysis. I only write to pass the keyword, the SEO analysis. But take a look at this. I actually have one problem. It says 33.9% of the sentences contain more than 20 words, which is more than the recommended maximum of 25%. Try to shorten the sentences. So now I could be thinking, okay, well, I want this to be green, so I'm going to go back to my article and start to check out all the sentences that are more than 20 words. I'll try to shorten them, stuff like that. So you can become very, very mechanical. And take a look at the other requirements. Like, for example, let's see, none of the paragraphs are too long. 32.8% of the sentences contain a transition word or phrase. So, in all honesty, personally, I typically don't recommend turning this on. However, it's up to you. If you would prefer the readability analysis, then by all means, you can keep this on. However, if you prefer to write in your own style, then please turn this off because you don't want to become too mechanical in the way you write your articles. Now, constant content, we'll talk about this a bit later, but you definitely want to keep this on. Basically, your constant content is the best content you've written on your blog. Like if you were asked to present your best articles will typically be the cornerstone content, so keep this on. Text link counter, I'm going to turn this off. This basically counts how many links you have in your articles, and I really don't care about that. XML sitemaps, absolutely keep this on. This will generate sitemaps for your site, which is awesome for Google and other major search engines. Next is the right integration, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. What this does is that it basically checks to see if your site has been indexed on a weekly basis. But this is not a very useful service because if you've installed Yoast SEO plugin and you apply everything I teach you in this course, your site is guaranteed to be indexed at all times. So you don't need this service telling you that your site has been indexed, and so on and so on. You don't need this service. The admin bar menu, this will basically show your Yoast settings up here in the admin bar. You can keep it on, you can turn it off if you want. I'll keep it on. And then finally, we have the security, no advanced settings for authors. What this does is it prevents authors that you might have on your site from removing posts from search results. So you can either decide to keep this on or keep this off. If you are the only person writing articles on your blog, then you can just turn it off because you don't need the service. However, if you do have other people who write articles for you and you don't want them to be able to remove their posts from search results, then you should absolutely keep this on. But Mine is just a blog and I'm the only writer, so I'm just going to keep this off. All right, so that's it. I'm going to go ahead now and save my changes. And there you go. So it's kind of interesting that it's on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. This is not a coincidence. This is actually how I like to set up the features for my Yoast SEO plugin. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next class.